There are some initiatives that we can probably do in the immediate term, and we are working with Jackson on that at the moment in order to increase the player pool moving forward. Every year we face the same sort of challenges with clubs struggle to find players, so it's important that we look at that and that all competitions around the state actually work together in order to help increase the player pool and where appropriate send players up to competitions and where appropriate send them back to competitions. And this is a thing that all competitions need to be involved in, and all clubs, leagues need to take responsibility for helping to implement these sorts of initiatives. We can go away and we can develop all the plans, but we need people on the ground to actually help implement them. Just on the women, as we've said, there are 4 extra teams this season. I welcome those teams. Women are such an important fabric of any football club or any society or any community, as we know. We always complain that we don't have enough people around our footy clubs. Well, this is an opportunity to embrace the women, get them involved in our football clubs and participate in the game, such a critical aspect. So I do welcome all the women, and I hope all the clubs embrace what they're trying to do as well, and I wish them the best of luck for season 2018. I've touched on the TFC a bit, so what we'll do now is we'll wrap it up. I'll just say in closing, look, we are a strong competition. We continue to grow. We are growing. We've now got 10 female footy sides. So that's a lot of extra people around our competition. There are other competitions that would like to have that sort of activity running around in their leagues, but they don't, so we're very lucky. I'd like also to thank Tony Gibson for the efforts that he's done last season and moving into this season. He's helped professionalise the league. We've got a go-to person to assist our clubs. So I thank you for that, Tony. I'd also like to thank Jackson Hills from the TFC. A lot of the club presidents have spoken with Jacko. He is a resource. I encourage you to use him. That's what he's here for. And to get your point across, if there are any issues, just let me know, and I'm happy to talk to Jacko about those sorts of things as well. And Jacko is a great support to me as well, particularly in the development of our plans moving forward. So thanks very much for that. So we are now ready for season 2018, and on that note, I'd like to declare the season open. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Kyron Johnson, VP of the SFL. I'd now like to ask Jackson Hills from the Australian Football Council, the Tasmanian Football Council rather, to come forward and say a few words as well. Jackson Hills.
Thanks, folks. Hopefully you can hear me down the back there. I feel a little bit underdressed now, Kyron. I've been up here in a suit and tie and I've just got the skivvies on. But anyway, look, I really do appreciate the opportunity to actually come to these events. You don't have to provide the invitation. And I'm the first to admit that I know the relationships with both the AFL and other organisations in footy with some of our competitions in the past haven't been that great. But I believe that we're working really hard to improve that. And there's a number of you in the room that I've met with, as Kyron referred to. Just each of the club presidents, if you're here, can you just pop your hand out for a sec, just so I can sort of sight you in the room? So I met with this group recently, Kyron's blessing and Madeline's blessing, and I really got some great feedback from that group. And I think there's a lot of really good ideas in community footy that people feel like they haven't had a chance to actually put forward before. And I see Russell here and others that led that group coming together. I would encourage anyone, because we are going through a tough time right now that Kyron talked about, I'd encourage anyone who's got ideas on how they think we can actually grow footy, particularly junior and youth footy, to put your ideas forward, put them forward through your competition, put them forward to me directly. I'll listen to anything, I'll meet with anyone. And I think I've proven that in the last 18 months that I'll get around the state and I'm happy to talk to any of you about your ideas because we can use them right now. And I have got a positive thing to say in a sec too, but I just want to kick it off with some challenges because I know this group is not silly. They're going to start another season this year with the same challenges that they had last year. And here we are at the Brighton Footy Club. We didn't even know whether they were going to have teams in the 2018 season. So let's put our hands together, because I believe you are going to have seniors and reserves this year. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, mate.
Congratulations. Well done, guys. And to Pete and Matt, I mean, you're not the only club going through this challenge. We've got a lot of junior clubs not fielding 16s teams this year, 15s teams this year, and every time we lose another team, it's harder and harder to get those kids back, and it creates a blockage in the pathway, and it takes us 5 to 7 years to bring those kids back through the system, as you all know. So we've got to keep working harder at the grassroots, and we're trying to get that message out there, but as you all know, most of the topic of conversation recently has been about statewide competitions and talent pathways, etc. I'm more interested in talking about community footy, game development, grassroots, schools, coaching, facilities. And I think those people in the room that have met with me hopefully attest to that. So I'd encourage you to reach out if you've got ideas on how we can improve the system, particularly in the junior and youth football ranks, because we need more kids coming through. Just on a more positive note though, I would like to echo Kyron's comments. It's really exciting about what's happening in the female football space. I think about 5 years ago we had 5 teams playing in a statewide competition. This year, with all the teams involved in your competition, we've got 75 women's teams across the state in the space of 5 years, which is fantastic. Now, where's Gibbo? People like Gibbo, that creates a real challenge, because they've got to work with councils to get those games fixtured, get access to training facilities, and the clubs know what I'm talking about. But these are good problems to have. It does bring new volunteers to the clubs, and we need to make sure that we're embracing that facet of footy. And I really would like to commend Kyron, Madeline, Gibbo, and others at the competition for embracing the female competition, for the clubs for getting on board, and for not just worrying about who's an SFL club and who's not, but just anyone who's interested in being involved in footy, you've found a home for them. I think that's really important. I commend you for that as well. And just for me, probably the final point, just to finish on a positive note, it is a season launch. I think Brighton's done a terrific job with the support of the SFL to put this function on here tonight. The place looks great. So congratulations to all the ladies and men and others in the kitchen and those people who are involved in putting the function together. I think you've done a terrific job. I'd like to wish all the men's and women's teams the best of luck for 2018 and look forward to getting out to the footy. Thank you.
Well, that's it from an official point of view, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Jackson Hills, and of course, Kyron Johnson, for your words there. I wish you all the best for the 2018 season. Just on a quick note, the Gala Day this Saturday down at Pembroke Park. Make sure you get along. Obviously, you will all be there, of course. But 75 women's teams across the state, that's incredible stuff. That's unbelievable for our great game. And a quick one from the Duff TV crew, myself and Martin Duffy, who are here tonight. We've interviewed a few of you this evening. We would like to get a representative from every club today, because we're trying to get something going as far as a weekly footy show for the SFL and Southern football down here, and we want to embrace all of your footy clubs. So if you haven't had a chat to myself, come up and see us afterwards. The bar will be open, of course, and those little deep fried cheese ball things, they are incredible. But all the best for 2018 season, ladies and gentlemen, and best of luck. Take care.